figure that out.
Yeah.
It's usually more realistic than if you try to force something that's super awkward.
Yeah, I'm like, that's how I feel, but on the outside it looks terrifying. So
Yeah, I know, right?
I'll try to tone it
You
down.
don't look for that. There you go. Nice. That's super cool.
Oh, this is all sorts of fancy gear.
I know. Legit. Ethan has the.
Prepared. I know.
So good.
Sit there real quick, Heather, where Angelina's gonna be sitting.
Am I awkward?
You're perfect. Uterus.
So what we're doing is Steve is just gonna film this for future reference so that when we can't corner Angelina,
We'll have it on tape.
we have it on tape. And I've actually wanted to do this for a long time, so it actually gives us a really good opportunity.
Okay,
Okay.
we're rolling.
Okay, so when I first go to a listing presentation, what I like to do is tour the house. And I have a couple props here with me that we're gonna use, but there's also a couple more props that you'll probably wanna take with you. And when I say props, that's literally what they are. They're props. They're nothing that you need, so if you don't have them, don't stress out. This is just to make your listing presentation a little bit better. Some of the props we're gonna pretend that we have today, but we're still gonna go through this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a clipboard with me and a pen, and I'm gonna come and the sellers are gonna answer the door, and then there'll be some small talk. We're gonna have some rapport. I'm gonna talk to them again about their motivation for selling. So are you guys excited for your move to South Dakota?
Excited.
And you know, to be by those cute grandkids.
Ooh, super excited.
Steve
Can't wait.
married really young.
Oh, yes.
Anyway.
Rob the cradle.
Well, and we want to thank to Nicole and Steve for being in this presentation with us. So they're pretending to be Mr. and Mrs. Seller. So I appreciate you guys for being here. So what we're going to do is we're going to literally walk from room to room, and I'm going to have on my clipboard just notes. I'm going to make notes. So what I want to do is I want to establish motivation. And so when I'm in the living room, I'm going to say, oh, your living room has great vaulted ceilings or beautiful crown molding. Is that important to you in your next home?
Yes.
Okay, this is the interactive portion.
This is,
Okay, so
is that mine? I
Yes.
thought I turned it off.
so I'm gonna write down the features of this room. Now, if I have like a high C personality client, sometimes I keep in my purse a measuring tape, and sometimes we will measure the rooms, and I'll put it here. And then anything that he's talking about, or she, I shouldn't just assume all the high C people are C's, but it seems like they are. If they're like, oh, and we got the upgraded carpet padding, I mean, upgraded carpet padding. Do I need to know all this stuff to list a house? No. But what it's doing is giving me an opportunity to understand their motivation better, giving them an opportunity to tell me what's important to them, and then they feel like I'm vested with them because they've told me all the things. So you're like, you know, he's like, oh, when we built this, we used the heavy duty nails, not those normal nails. I'm like, heavy duty nails, right? So we go from room to room. Now there's a couple gifts that we're going to give out. We're going to pretend that this is one of the gifts. As we're going around, I'm going to say, oh, it looks like, you know, you scuffed this wall a little bit. So here's a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Nice.
Cool.
So that when you go through the house, you can kind of erase these little scuffs and get it ready for showing. The other prop that I like to bring, they sell at Home Depot, usually like, you can get them like in the contractor packs, but they'll have little tubes of paintable caulk. And so as you're saying, hey, when you're getting ready to take down all these personal pictures, here's a tube of paintable caulk so you can fill in the little holes. So I'm going to give her those two gifts. The reason we give gifts is because then they feel obligated to give me something back, which is the listing. Okay? So after we've done a tour of the home, then I like to sit down at the kitchen table. Now here's a bonus. If they say when you walk in the door, would you like a glass of water? Say yes. Even if you just drank like an 80-ounce Mountain Dew on your way over, you're still going to drink the water because who offers you water?
A hostess or a host.
Or a friend, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, somebody who's a little bit more vested in you. If they offer you food, eat their food. You know, if they offer you cookies, eat their cookies, whatever it is. I'm going to tell you this too. If you are allergic to animals, take Benadryl before you go, because if you don't love on their dog and their dog doesn't like you, they're going to trust their dog's instincts over their own. I'm just saying, dog people love their dogs. I have been hairball molested by cats before, and you just gotta love on those cats, and then you go home and you cleanse yourself of pet dander before your pets get angry. But I mean, really, if my dog continues to hate someone after like 20 minutes, I don't feel good about that person, because dogs have a really good sense for people. So we're sitting at the kitchen table. I have my listing presentation with me, both on my laptop, which anymore I hardly ever get out, but I have it, and it's set up on their kitchen table. My laptop is over here actually filming class. So I have my presentation also printed. You can print these at the office, and then we have these really nice Unibinder folders that melt a binded edge, and they have clear plastic on the front or back, and they just look really, really nice. So you can do those right at the office. So after we've talked a little bit, we haven't talked about price. I don't talk about pricing till the very end, although I also bring a CMA with me. But we're just gonna go through the listing presentation today. So I start out and I just literally have my listing presentation right here. First page is called Why List With Me. And I can email, if you haven't already had this, most people should, just email me and I'll email you a copy of it. Just say, share with me your listing presentation. Now I've made this presentation, well actually I bought this presentation and I've updated it and changed it, but it's really easy for you to just update it. You take my name off and you put your name on. Like, it's pretty simple. So now we're gonna get started in the listing presentation. So in addition to regular marketing, like traditional real estate marketing, so like a yard sign, I'm going to put a professional yard sign in your yard. I use a professional installer because he's licensed and insured, so that way if he were to accidentally hit your sprinkler line or something like that, that would be covered under his insurance. And then we're going to advertise open houses when we want to do open houses. Now, open houses only usually account for about 1% of home sales in the United States. So it kind of depends on the neighborhood. This is actually a really popular neighborhood, the Avenues, Sugar House, Mill Creek.
And how do you advertise?
So what I do to advertise them, and we'll talk about advertising in a minute, digital. I do all digital. I have a whole section in there. So what we want to do if they ask any questions is try to defer them to the point in the presentation where we answer. But I'm going to make a mental note of that because I now know that advertising is important to him. Okay? Okay. Now a lot of agents kind of stop there. They put it on the multiple listing service, they put a sign in the yard, and then they pray for an offer. So we kind of go above and beyond all of that stuff. So another really important thing that I do is work really hard to get feedback from every single agent that shows your house. And sometimes it's like twisting arms to get those agents to give me feedback. But I will continue calling them several times. I even have a spreadsheet so I can track who I've called and how many times I've called them. The reason feedback is important is, you remember that bedroom you showed me that had like the lime green wall and you were worried about painting it now? Yeah. See, if the feedback comes back a couple times and they say, we love the whole house but the paint is too wild, then we can address those concerns. But if the feedback is the house is great, why should you paint that wall? Maybe somebody will really love that lime green wall like you did.
Right.
Okay, so that's part of the reason. And then it helps us with pricing too, because the market is what drives the price of the home. And the market is defined as what buyers are willing to pay for the home. So if the consistent feedback is great house overpriced, then we know that that's time to address the price adjustment. We're also going to list it on the multiple listing service, where we're going to advertise directly to about a little over 8,000 real estate agents and their clients. So that's actually the biggest bulk of the advertising, is right to real estate agents themselves. Okay. We're going to do a high-end marketing program. Okay. Home buyers use the internet to search for homes more than any other medium. So they used to go to newspapers or magazines, or I'm sure you've seen like those home and land magazines at the grocery store. They're not shopping in those places anymore. So we want to have a really good presence right on the internet. Home buyers say that the most important features on listings are the photography and the detailed description. So I've actually, I use a professional photographer. I will come to the photo shoot so that I can help. Sometimes they want me to like take magnets off your fridge, or sometimes we'll even move a little furniture if that makes the shot better. But I'll be there for that as long as I can. And then I've taken specific classes on how to write really good details that actually speak to the different personality types and how they shop for homes. So,
Those personality types. Should
so
I ask?
personality type, yeah, no, you're
Okay.
fine. So personality types, so like, you've probably seen like the color code personality styles, or there's like the disc one that Tony Robbins uses. So like there's the type A personality, you've heard of all those, right? So different personality types search for properties differently. So the organized type personality, which we call a C, they're gonna wanna look for like energy efficient appliances, how old is the roof, technical details, like you were talking about when you were telling me that you just upgraded the furnace, and those are kind of things that you focused on, whereas you were telling me about how it's such a great neighborhood and it's a safe area. So I want to market to each of the 4 personality types so that we're speaking the language that appeals to everybody. So I've taken extra classes and learned how to use that language
Yes.
specifically.
Good.
Okay, great. Buyers are nearly 5 times more likely to find the home that they purchase online than rather in a newspaper. And we're going to talk about that in just a couple minutes. So if you look at this chart here, you'll see that over the years, people have started shopping more and more on the internet
Right.
and less in newspapers. Okay, yard signs stayed pretty consistent. I think the average listing, about 5% of listings are sold from the yard sign. So that's why we still have a nice sign out in the front yard. I'm also going to advertise your listing on my website, and then 60 of the other agents in my office, we're going to put you as a featured listing on every single one of their web pages as well as all 3 of our office locations. Their websites will have your property featured on there as well. And then we're going to put it on ExitRealty.com or Exit Realty International's webpage, so ExitRealty.com, and that has listings from all over North America. So people from anywhere in the country can come right to ExitRealty.com and look for homes here.
Wow.
So we pick up a lot of out-of-state buyers.
And it goes on the MLS?
Get multiple listing service, and then all these other ones are in addition to that.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to feature it on Realtor.com. I know a couple tricks and techniques with Realtor.com. One of the things that a lot of agents don't know is that if you have over 25 pictures, their algorithm will actually feature that more as a featured property, and it will raise it toward the top of the search criteria. But you can't tell anybody I told you that. That is a secret. Okay? Deal? Deal. Okay. I'm also going to do a high-tech marketing platform. Okay? So I'm going to build your house its own website. And on that website, I've got all the professional pictures, 24-hour information, syndication, which means that we're going to advertise on other websites as well, so like Zillow and Trulia and FrontDoor.com. I'm going to make a listing video and put that on YouTube. It's fully mobile compatible, so anybody with a mobile phone can also actually look at the property. There's quick response codes. I'm going to put it on social media, Craigslist, and then they have textable information too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this is what the website's going to look like. So it's got the photography is right out front, very bold, very beautiful, which is why I hire the really good quality professional photographers, because I want that big picture on their screen to look amazing and not pixelated at all. So also the home's information will be listed, school information, even like the ranking of the neighborhood schools, because a lot of buyers shop for area and schools and not just a house. So they want a community feel. So this website allows them to feel the community.
Okay.
Any questions there?
No, I just want to make sure, because we're going to have a lot of kids.
You're gonna have a lot of kids, but you're moving.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
But after we move.
Yeah, after you move.
Once we get tested.
But this is a good area for children, so like that's why
Okay.
school information is really important. They can also download and print right from their home a flyer of the house, like in their PJs. They can email it to friends. There's a virtual tour they can go through. So this is just kind of what it looks like on the inside. So you can see property information, agent information, send it to a friend, schools, download the tour, that kind of stuff.
It's good advertising.
Absolutely. Well, we haven't even started yet.
Wow.
That's just the start. So I'm also going to advertise on social media. So right now I do Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and then it pushes out to other sites as well, but these are the ones that I aggressively focus on. This is kind of an example of what the advertisement looks like. So big picture, a little bit of information. But what's really cool about the service that I use to create these ads is it tries to collect people's information. Because agents used to put flyers in your box, right? And then what happens if a potential buyer comes and takes that flyer and they look at it, all the information they want is on it.
They won't call you, they've got everything.
They got everything.
Yeah.
And who has control over the next conversation?
They have it all.
The buyer does, right? Because there's no way for me to follow up with that person. So a lot of the tools that I use, you're going to hear me repeat this over and over, lead generate, which means that it tries really hard to collect their information. And the reason that's important is then I can call them back and try to schedule them a time to come look at your house. Okay? So this is what like the Facebook ads look like. The YouTube video, I'm going to make a YouTube video and put it on
Awesome.
YouTube. Yep. I can't remember the exact statistic, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of nearly 90% of buyers are looking for video.
Wow.
So, and only about 3% of agents are creating video. So when you have a huge demand and you have a very low supply, it just helps generate more to your listing because they're out there looking for video.
Cool.
I can track the statistics. So like on this is actually one of my listings that I took these pictures from. But you can see right here that that week, 30%, almost 30% of the traffic that came back to this website came from my Facebook advertising. 30% of it came from people searching on their mobile phone. So that could be a link that they saw and they clicked on the link on their phone. And then you can see here these other ones, Google. This is the direct web name that I'm going to create for your house, 123acornstreet.info. So that will send right to the website. So this is people that literally typed in 123acornstreet.com. Okay, so you can see here. Now when I see a big spike like Facebook is 30% this week, then I know that that's where I want to focus more of my advertising budget. Okay?
Do I get copy of these each week? Or?
Yeah, I can go ahead and email those
Cool.
to you each week. Would you prefer it to yours or both?
To hers.
Both?
Oh, okay.
To hers.
Okay,
I'll
to
do
yours.
that.
Okay, perfect. And then I can also see, I can track it by how many people have come through the whole month. And then I can see which pages they're focusing on more. So like this one tells me that most people are just looking at that front page with all the pictures. So I can focus on that too. And then that helps us understand. But this is only off the website that I create for you. There's also going to be more traffic from our advertising on the MLS to those 8,000 real estate agents that we talked about. And I can send you those too. I'm sure that you guys are pretty savvy and know that what I could pay for like one tiny newspaper ad or a tiny magazine ad, I can pay for tons of amazing stuff online. So I don't really advertise on paper anymore. I do almost everything digitally. But if you noticed, the rise when we talked about the internet page back here, how many people are coming off of the internet. So that's really where the biggest bang for the buck is. So a lot of people ask me if I'm going to advertise in the paper, and it's just,
Waste of time.
it
money.
really is. It just really is. By the time it comes out, your house is usually sold.
Yeah, cool.
So, also this is really cool. We have a really neat technology called geolocation. So let's just say that someone was out driving through the streets and they see your house with your for sale sign. They can actually text exit to 85377. I'm just going to show you how that works. Now we have what I call a dummy site. So I'm going to show you what yours would look like.
Okay.
But if I'm going to type exit sign, one word, to 85377, and you're going to see how fast it already came back with that? Instant, because that's what buyers want. They want instant information. So it has a link, and when they click on the link, they're going to be able to see all these beautiful pictures of your home.
Oh,
They're-
wow, that's awesome.
Great. They're going to be able to scroll through the photography, and then as they come down,
Ooh, good pictures.
yeah,
too.
really good pictures. And actually they show up really well because of the enhancement features. So they show up beautiful on even iPads, iPhones, tablets, Androids, whatever people have. The details for the home are here. The awesome remarks that we're going to write are here. and then there's even a map. So they can even see where in the neighborhood that is. And then of course my contact information and lead generation, so we're gonna try to capture their information, is right here so they can schedule a showing. And then if they do that, if they type in their information, it will email it to me. But either way, I'm gonna get a text message with their cell phone number
Nice.
just because they text exit to 85377.
That's cool. That's great marketing.
Well, it really is,
Yeah.
because then I have the opportunity more than a flyer. Who has control over the next conversation?
You do.
I do. Right. So a lot of times I try to call them back before they're away from the neighborhood, because then I can still get them excited while they're sitting there looking at pictures of your beautiful kitchen. Okay, so that's one of the tools we use. Pricing your home right from the beginning is really, really important. So what we do is we look at what's sold in the neighborhood most recently. We're going to talk about some of the comparables. I have those to show you. But we're going to talk about what the market's willing to bear. Okay? And I told you already that what we define the market as is what a buyer is willing to pay for a home. So what I can do is look at the homes that have sold right here and say, that gives me an idea of what buyers are willing to pay for in this neighborhood. But pricing it right from the beginning is really critical, because the longer they sit on the market, statistically, the less they sell for. So if you want top dollar, we need to price it right
Price
from
it
the
right.
beginning. And right now in Salt Lake Valley, homes are selling about 99% of the original list price if they're priced properly from the beginning.
So that's a seller's market.
It is a seller's market. Right
Wow.
now we have such a low inventory, I just forgot the word. Dang, where's Kim when I need him? The absorption rate.
Absorption.
The absorption rate is so low that it definitely is a seller's market. Regular updates. Now you indicated that you would rather have Nicole get the, so Nicole, do you want me to call you, text you, or email you every week?
Maybe email me and then text me to let me know that you've emailed me. That would be
Okay.
great.
So what I usually like to do is kind of on Monday, let you know what happened over the weekend, and then probably again on Thursday, I'll call you with the feedback
Cool.
from the weekend, because it usually takes me several days to get a hold of all the real estate agents.
That sounds perfect.
Okay, perfect. Access to the home is probably one of the most critical things. So really the most important things when we sell homes is pricing, access, and what is that squeaking?
It's a sink.
Sorry, there's a weird
Sorry, our
squeaking.
sink squeaks.
That's That's funny.
Don't tell the buyers.
So pricing, access, and wages are the three things that we're really going to focus on. So for access, I want to just show you what I use. Now a lot of agents will use these mechanical, we call them contractor lock boxes, that you put a code like 1214, and then buyers who are smart are looking over their agent's shoulder and looking at that code, and then guess what they have?
Access to our home.
Access to your home anytime. So I use a Supra key box. Now these are literally nearly impossible to get into. Like no thief is gonna try to get the key out of this. They're, gonna find much easier ways, like water. It's gonna follow the path of least resistance. The other thing that's really neat about this is any real estate agent that opens it has to have gone through a code of ethics training. They have to have an active license, or they have to be an affiliate of the Board of Realtors. So sometimes like home inspectors will also have a super key. But this is what the super key looks like. So as an agent, I have my own serial number, and each agent has their own unique serial number. So when they open it, they're gonna type in their password. The box is gonna communicate. Now if I have my phone on, you can hear it communicate.
Right.
Okay. And then when it opens, I get an email with whoever opened it, so I can easily track it. Now if they have kids, you're going to stage this with like a silver dollar, and then you're going to have the kids open that box, and then you're going to give the kids the silver dollar. Now I put M&Ms in here, but I'm not going to eat those because Lord knows what's been in this box. But it's just a way to interact with their children. And if you can get the children and the dog on your side,
You got them.
you got it. So I like to do the demonstration, and kids love to push this. So I'll have them, when you push it up, I'll make sure I push it with them, so we push it hard enough to let it come out. But even when I'm showing homes, all the time I'll have the kids help me look for the key box. All the time I will have the kids help me open the key box because it keeps them entertained and then they don't bug their parents so much. So we're going to show them the key box, okay, and talk about how I can use that to track who's been in and out of the house, okay. So some of the common problems we have with people getting access to your home are alarm systems. Now I noticed you guys have an alarm system, so how would you like to deal with that?
We'll give you a code because we're gonna move and we'll change the code. They can change the code when they move in.
Like a temporary code?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. Are you guys going to be able to leave the home for sometimes like 2 hours at a time for these showings?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Because buyers, if they come in the home and there's a homeowner home, it makes them really uncomfortable and they won't stay very long. And the idea is getting them in the house and getting them to stay as long as possible. Okay, are you guys going to have minors that are ever home alone?
No,
Okay.
we're working on that.
We don't have any uncooperative tenants. We don't have any hazardous materials here, right? Like,
No.
You know, sometimes I have clients that do like soldering or something and they might have stuff like that. Now the pets, you have the dog who's
Mhm.
kind of big and he might be scary. How
He
would you
barks
like
a
to
lot.
handle him during showings?
Why don't you call me and then I can move him to the backyard and we'll just leave him in the backyard.
Okay, perfect. Okay, one of the important things when you're going through this list is to never make suggestions or recommendations on how they're going to do the alarm system. So you never ever want to say, can you just turn your alarm off? Or, oh, you know what,
Right.
Fluffy's so nice, I think he'll be fine if he's here with these buyers. Because what's going to happen is they're going to leave the alarm off, they're going to get robbed, and guess whose fault it is? My fault, because I'm the one that told them to turn off the alarm. So I always put it on their side. You can do that additionally with, say they have a lot of breakables in the home, or collector's items, or maybe it's just full of uncomfortable stuff. Yeah, like 80,000 shot glasses, or crystal bells, or whatever, or like religious shrines. You kind of want to talk about that a little bit too. You know, hey, you guys are moving. I think it might be a good idea if you pack up all this amazing memorabilia, because I would hate for somebody's, you know, people will have kids that are coming through here, and I'd hate for anything of yours to get misplaced. I never say stolen, misplaced or damaged.
Mhm.
Okay? All right. Competitive commissions are really, really important. Do you guys know what a commission is?
No, can you tell? Well, I know, I have an idea. It's kind of like a
Kinda.
salary.
Yeah. So commissions are the what the seller pays all the people who are involved in the transaction. So we usually split that in half, and I'm going to show you right here. So what happens is most commissions in Salt Lake County are 6 or 7%.
Mhm.
Okay. Now I'm going to recommend we go with a 7% commission. I'm going to tell you why, but ultimately it's your choice. Why would I tell them I want to go with a 7% commission? Because even if they want to lower it, I'm still walking out with a 6% commission, okay? And I do get 7% commissions all day because this is a really smart way to market a property.
Mhm.
So what we're gonna do is, let's just say the buyer's agent, and we're gonna give them, usually I turn this around and write on it. We're gonna give the buyer's agent 4% because my costs are pretty fixed. I know what it costs me, so I'm not gonna be greedy. If you decide to do the 7% commission, I'm just gonna take the 3%, which would normally be my half, and we're gonna offer the other agent the 4% as a bonus. Now we can stipulate that too. We can say 4%, you know, 3% for a normal seller, 1% bonus for a contract that's accepted by December 31st, so like Christmas special.
Or a full price offer maybe.
Full price offer, yeah.
Yeah.
So we can kind of stipulate that too, or we can just offer it being generous. But what I've found is a lot of times when we pay higher wages, we attract better agents. So let me ask you a question, Steve. If your boss came into you tomorrow and said, I'd like you to earn a little bit more for doing exactly what you're already doing, would you take that deal?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. The buyer's agent, we're gonna give them 4% commission. Wages, oh, I just did a faux pas. Don't say commission after that first introduction. After that, you're always gonna say wages. And I'm gonna have the 3%, okay? Now here's how that kind of works. In Utah, it's by law, every agent has to work for a broker. So
Mhm.
actually all of the commissions go through a broker.
So this
So-
is gone, that's his half.
That's my half.
Oh, that's your half?
And this is the buyer's agent. So
Okay.
then there's the seller's agent right here, which is me. I'm implying that I'm going to get this listing. Okay, buyer's agent 4% and 3% for me. So because we all work for a broker, usually those splits are 70-30. So
Mhm.
the brokerage keeps 70% of the wage, okay, and the agent has 70. But we all have marketing costs. So for a buyer's agent, it could be gasoline, it could be the website that generates leads, it could be their marketing, their postcards, their letters they send out. There's so many things that we spend money on to generate the buyers, okay? So about 30%. And then because we're self-employed, we can actually be up to a 40% tax rate depending on how much we earn. And this is what the agent takes home.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Well, because most people don't understand what wages include, right? So, I mean, this could be, well, on my side, so let's just do my side.
Okay.
So I work at Exit Realty, we're a 70-30 split company, and then I have a photographer, the stager I told you about, the marketing, the website, YouTube video,
Mm.
and so on and so on and so forth.
Right.
Okay. So if I was going to pay for all that stuff individually, it's about a 30%.
Now, I was gonna ask for a discount, but that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I'm with Uncle Sam
Yeah.
too. I think we're all with Uncle Sam, right? Uncle Sam likes his cut. So this is how much I bring home, and I don't work for less than that.
Mhm.
Fair enough?
fair,
Okay.
very fair.
So that's why oftentimes instead of a 3% buyer's agent wage, we can offer them that 4%, and then they just get a little bit more to take home.
Mhm.
Now, Steve, we're going to play a game called Steve is a Real Estate Agent.
Okay,
You are showing homes right in this neighborhood, okay?
mhm,
Now, they're just similar to yours. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 3-car garage. It's a very similar neighborhood. You're the real estate agent. Your client, that's exactly what they want to look for. Now, you're showing these 4 homes today. This one pays a salary of 3%. This one pays a salary of 3%. This one pays a salary of 4%. And this one pays a salary of 3%. Now, you're going to show all 4 of these homes because they still meet your client's criteria, right?
mhm.
But which one are you